Everything is made beautiful in its time. Do you believe that? There is a time for everything and a season for everything. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to heal. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to be silent and a time to speak. What time is it for you? Have you overstayed your welcome in one season? Each season has a purpose and a reason. We may not know the reason, but God does. How do you handle when seasons change? I think it's easier for most of us to enjoy when the season goes from bad to good, but I've known people who didn't like the so called good seasons because they were so anxious, feeling like the bottom will fall out at any moment. So again, I ask, what time is it for you? I recall a season when I was always sad, and God said, it's now time to step into a season of joy. So begin to learn to rejoice always. And He told me this while things still felt negative. Soon after my attitude changed, the season then changed. So, how do you know what time it's supposed to be and then when to shift? Well, you first listen to what Holy Spirit is saying. He will make it very clear to you. If you are still learning to hear His voice, then here are a few things you can do. Number one, read the Bible and seek His face. There's no clearer way to hear and learn the voice of the Lord than to read His own words. There are so many answers right at your fingertips. If you do not know where to start, then Google quote unquote scriptures about fill in the blank and start there. If you are struggling with fear or pain or conflict or etc., then simply find scriptures about that and God will speak to your heart. It may take time, so be patient and simply enjoy His presence. You don't have to rush to talk to Him. You don't have to rush to quickly get out what you need and then get up. No, sit and rest in His presence. Number two, look for repeated messages. I look for doubles when seeking clarity of what God is saying to me. I'll often hear God's message in a song, in a sermon, from a friend, on a billboard, from a stranger, on someone's shirt, etc. For example, I was entering a season of joy, and everywhere I looked, I saw the word joy, including a billboard, and all it said was JOY, as big as day. I just want you to open your eyes and open your ears. Sometimes the message is right there in front of you. Number three, just do the opposite. If all else fails, then pick one. And if that doesn't work, then pick the opposite. For example, I wasn't sure if I was in a season of working hard or resting. So I chose to work really hard. And I kept being met with closed door after closed door and failed opportunity. So through a process of elimination, I realized He was actually trying to tell me to slow down and rest. I even had a guy randomly tell me at church, hey, God said slow down, turn around, and let Him catch you. Because apparently I was running a million miles ahead of God and I needed to slow it down. A few months later, I was then instructed to prepare to run, meaning it was go time to dive into the assignment He gave me. Now, had I just stuck with the first message of slow down and rest, I would have been stuck because God then said, yes, that season was a season of rest, but now I am saying pick up the pace, pick up the cadence, let's get busy. God has made and will make everything beautiful in its time. So, if it's not beautiful yet, then the fullness of time has not come. So trust that He will make good on His promises. Will you trust His timing and not yours? That's the question you have to sit with. How will you manage the time in which you are in? Don't squander it, wishing for the next season. Just as sure as spring comes after winter, your seasons must and will change. Patience wins this race.